Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. Today I just want to do something a little bit different. I want to just talk about myself. Mostly because of the first topic I want to talk about, but I'll get into that in just a little bit. I've just been thinking about some of the other things, the interests that I have that are outside of gaming, and since this channel is all about gaming, I thought it'd be fun to just do a video talking about me and some of my other interests as well. So first and foremost, if you haven't seen before some of my earlier videos, you could see it. I have a Giants banner back there. I have been a Giants fan since I was a little kid. Despite having no other friends or family members that are Giants fans, I just became a diehard Giants fan. I really liked Eli Manning. I thought number 10 is my favorite number, so that probably had a lot to do with it. I love the blue and red color scheme. I'm sure that had the majority of the makeup of my favorite team there. But I really liked Eli Manning. I really liked the team synergy, and I loved how they just sucked all the time until they didn't and ended up winning a Super Bowl against the Patriots, which is one of the coolest things I've ever witnessed. And then watching them do it again was equally impressive and so fantastic. I love the New York Giants. Inexplicably, it's just the team I picked when I was a little kid, and now they're my favorite team, and that's pretty fun. However, on Sunday, the Giants were in possession of the number 1 draft pick. They don't have a quarterback right now. They've got backups essentially posing as starting QBs ever since we lost Daniel Jones, who was probably the worst starting quarterback in all of the NFL, which is a shame because I liked him for several years, but he just has not been doing anything good as of late. And so on Sunday, they need to lose this game and the next game. They're sitting with 2 wins for the season. They're nowhere close to the playoffs. Losing the next 2 games was imperative to get the number 1 draft pick so they could guarantee themselves any pick of the QBs that they wanted, which typically just rolls down to 2. I believe it's Cam Ward and Shadir Sanders. So that's really what we needed to have happen, is just to lose. And they put on an absolute clinic against the Colts. They absolutely decimated them. They destroyed them. They dismantled them. They kept scoring touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And it would drive me crazy because the Colts kept clawing back and coming within like 3 or 2 points. And I'm like, now is your time to bail. Stop scoring. And they just kept scoring. At the end of the half, they were up by, I think, 2 points. Maybe it was 3. They start the third quarter off with a 101-yard kickoff return touchdown. Of all the times I don't want my team to win, this was one of them. A meaningless game. The Colts had much more on the line. They had a chance at the playoffs still if they beat the Giants here. I mean, I know the competition. I'm a competitor myself. I wouldn't want to just roll over and die. But if it was my job and next year I was guaranteed a really good quarterback to help my job get better, I maybe would throw a little bit there. But I understand the competitive spirit. You're in last home game in front of all your fans. You haven't won a home game this season. It was a big win for them. They scored 45 points, which is probably more than they've scored all season long, which is insane to me. They just put on an absolute clinic. Tons of touchdowns, turnovers against the other team. Like they really just put it all out there. And unfortunately, that puts them at the number 3 draft pick now. I thought it was the number 4. I looked again. I think it's the number 3. I think they are above Cleveland here. So the Patriots have the number 1 draft pick right now, and then the Tennessee Titans. The Patriots have their QB. I think that they're not going to draft a QB in this one, even if they have the number 1 draft pick. I would assume that they would be willing to trade that number 1 spot. And I'm guessing they'll either trade it to the Titans or to the Giants because both teams really desperately need a QB. Patriots don't need it. They can get some more draft capital. They can build their team, and really that's probably what they're doing. They're like, wow, now that we have the number 1 pick, now we can start trading around, get some more stuff. The Giants just cost themselves so much here because now if they want a QB round 1, like I assume they do, they might be waiting until next year. Maybe they're playing a weird long game here. But either way, the number 1 draft pick is the most important pick. Now they have to trade up. They have to trade other capital in order to get to that number 1 draft pick to get the QB that they want. And I just think that's so crazy. It's so awful that the year that you are just the worst team in the league or top 3 in terms of how bad they are, you just win your second to last game when you already had the number 1 draft pick. It's just baffling to me. And I was wringing my fist, just wishing that they were losing for the first time, because I love my team winning even when they suck, even when they're the worst team in the league. I do love to see them win, especially against the Cowboys. But this one, as cool as it is to score 45 points, hopefully it doesn't cost us too much. So that's one thing. I really like football. I really love sports. I'm also a big Bulls fan. I don't have a Bulls banner up right now or anything. I'm sure you've seen them. I have a Bulls sweater. I have two Bulls t-shirts, three Bulls t-shirts, excuse me. I have a Bulls beanie. Like, I love the Chicago Bulls. Again, when I was little, I loved the Bulls. My dad would show me highlights of Michael Jordan. I was born in '96, so that was one of Michael Jordan's best years. I'd watch highlights from that. It made me really happy, and to see him like just absolutely dominate, it was really cool for me. So I just really liked them. I thought they were the coolest team. My dad really liked them too, so that became my favorite team. I love the Chicago Bulls. The Philadelphia Phillies have become my favorite baseball team as of late. I saw them play one year, and couple years ago, I went to a Phillies game, and I just enjoyed it so much. I had such a good time. So the Phillies just became my favorite baseball team. Before that, I just kind of piggybacked off my dad, who is a Cardinals fan. And then as soon as I watched that game, I'm like, oh man, I think the Phillies are so cool. So the Phillies are my favorite baseball team. The Bulls are my favorite basketball team. The Giants are my favorite football team. I don't really have other sports that I super invest in. I like watching the Olympics. I'm quite a sporty person myself. I do like to go play basketball. That's my primary sport that I really just enjoy doing. I'll shoot hoops and play with anybody. I really enjoy that. I used to be able to dunk. I think when I was early 20s, I could dunk. I tried my entire life because I'm like, that was one of my biggest goals. I really wanted to be able to dunk a basketball on a 10-foot rim, and I did it. And I did that a few times, and it was really awesome. And now I'm a little bit older, and I haven't been keeping up with stretching out my legs and keeping my jumping up. So I can grab the rim still, but I can't quite dunk anymore. Other things that I love, let me show you some of my stuff here. I don't have all of my gaming memorabilia here. I plan on doing that maybe the next move or the one after that. But I've got like some manga here. I've got my Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. I haven't collected all of them yet. I've got Sandland there. I've got all my Calvin and Hobbes books when I was a kid. I've got some of my amiibos here. I have every single Smash Brothers amiibo, but they're not here right now, so I'm just collecting the ones that have come out as of late. I've got My Hero Academia. Absolutely love them. If you saw on the wall, I've got some CDs up there. Linkin Park is my favorite band back there. I absolutely adore Linkin Park. I think they're just fantastic. Their new stuff, I miss Chester a ton. I think he's absolutely fantastic, and he was one of my favorite singers of all time before he passed. New stuff isn't as compelling to me just because it doesn't have Chester, and it's a hard thing for me mostly. But I do like what they're doing. I think putting Emily Armstrong in as the new singer was a good move. I think that was a good choice there. Linkin Park's my favorite band. My favorite classic bands include like Boston, AC/DC. I really like 21 Pilots nowadays. I've been really getting into them and really enjoying their music as of late. My son really likes 21 Pilots, so that's been really fun sharing that with him. So that's just a little bit about me. I quite like manga. I quite like anime. I quite like video games and sports and stuff like that. I feel like it's a fairly typical spread of things, but if you can think of anything else you'd like to ask me, I'd love to do a follow-up to this if people are actually interested in getting to know me. It's been fun just talking to you. So if you enjoyed this, let me know by putting a like and sharing a comment. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.